told anybody to worship me. Nobody can worship man. All of us believe that we only have one God. I want to say this clearly. When in life, when you have made a mistake, you say you made a mistake. There's nothing you can do about it. I have made a mistake. I want it up. And I said, God, forgive me. And I'll say, all of you, forgive me. But we will correct it at the appropriate time.
Wike is not superhuman. It's just that the Nigerian system supports corruption, supports election rigging. That's why he's able to rig election and brag about it that he made Fubara the governor of Rivers State. And now he's saying that he will correct the mistake of choosing Fubara maybe in 2027. You see, we are supposed to be in a democracy. And in a democracy, it is the majority that carries the vote. The people must decide who will lead them, who will be their governor, representative, local government chairman, any elected position. Not one man, just because he was governor. He will say, I must decide the person who will win the primary election at the party level and the governorship election proper. I must make sure and by all means use everything within my powers, including corruption, including rigging election, to put that person in that position. So there's nothing special about the likes of Wike. It's just that the Nigerian corrupt system enables them. If things were working normally the way they are supposed to work in Nigeria and like they work in other countries, these kind of characters will never find themselves in elected positions. They do not represent the general intelligence of Nigerians. Look at the diaspora. Look at the achievements of Nigerians in the diaspora. So they do not represent the majority of Nigerians. These are just a few Nigerians who abuse their powers and think because they have that power, they see themselves as superhumans. No, they are not. In fact, their IQ might be lower than average. And if you noticed, Wike's rhetoric has suddenly reduced because the governor is fighting back the way Wike would have fought if the role was reversed. We all know how he fought his predecessors, especially Amechi. He intimidated Amechi to the extent that the man stopped visiting Rivers State, except on official duties. And Wike wants to continue intimidating a sitting governor. And because the man is fighting back, having successfully sacked the 25 members of the State Assembly that are loyal to Wike, he also moved the sitting of the State Assembly to the government house in the guise that they want to renovate the assembly complex. So he's hitting Wike where he didn't expect. That's why his rhetoric has suddenly reduced, because the man is fighting back. You cannot intimidate a sitting governor. No, he doesn't have such powers. And he's been deceiving people. Imagine if the governor stopped Wike from campaigning in the state. Wike wouldn't allow it. Remember that Wike reprimanded traditional rulers when he was governor. He was shouting at them as if they were his workers, very condescending way. Now, let's hear what Wike said about people defecting from one party to another after being elected on their platform.
So everybody will have to be careful. You give somebody an umbrella, the next day he defects. EFCC will come. He said, no, let me join them so EFCC will not be against you. You carry the vote of another party and you join another party. Can you transfer vote? You work hard for somebody to win the election. Tomorrow the person say, no, I have defected. If you are defected, leave the seat.
As you can see, Wike knows what he's doing. He knows the law. He just wants to intimidate his way and have access to the state treasury to continue the looting. He wants to continue a third term through Fubara, but that's not possible. Rivers State people will not allow him to continue having that access. And his greatest illusion that he is indispensable to Tinubu, what a joke. What the man wants is who will rig election for him. Anyone that can overturn the election blatantly like Wike did in 2023. He will work with that person. That's all he wants. So Wike did nothing special that no other person cannot do. These are the sacked 25 House members loyal to Wike. They are touring the State Assembly quarters with their associates. By now, they must have dawned on them that Wike misled them. They shouldn't have hastily decamped to APC. because it's against the law. It's just that Fubara accepted everything, even the ones that were against him. That's talking about the agreement that Tinubu brokered between him and Wike. But they pushed their law too far, to the extent that they started intimidating the governor. Don't they understand that he's the governor? Don't they understand his powers? Now they must be regretting because they've been sacked by a court. And when you're sacked, when a court tells you to stop parading yourself as speaker or state assembly members, that means you will never receive any salary. That's a reality. And very soon they will start using their personal money to fund their extravagant lifestyle. Why you see arrogance from politicians is because they spend the people's money anyhow they want, no accountability whatsoever. They feel they are doing the people a favor. They feel it's their right. And very soon they will start buying petrol with their own money. Even the speaker, all the bodyguards he maintains, you can see one standing behind him. He will soon start paying them with his own money. That's a reality. And when this reality starts hitting them hard, they will quickly run back to the governor and apologize. Of course, he will tell them that they will be accepted under one condition, that they must go back to PDP. That's like eating your vomit. Anyway, we'll be watching out Fubara's next move. A lot of properties belonging to the River State government that were cornered by Wike, they've marked many of them. They want to recover it. In fact, some of them, they want to demolish it. It seems that he built new structures on these properties. Let's see how it goes. Thanks for watching.
What's the ideal way to lose stubborn pounds and keep it off for good? Well, I can tell you.
Anyone who believes that by their actions, whether it's from the federal level or from the state level or from the legislative, branch in the state or to the executive branch in the state, that if they are banking on Mr. President taking sides in this matter, they are mistaken and they will be disappointed. The president will not do that. All stakeholders to understand that the president will not take sides and that they need to focus in on governance and delivering the dividends of democracy to the people of River State. And that should be their only consideration until the lead up to 2027 when we can start talking about politics.
Bola Tinubu speaking through his spokesperson that he will not take sides in the ongoing political crisis in River State. This is a very reasonable position that any unbiased person will take. Not that Nigerians take their words seriously, because on many occasions they've said something else and done something completely different. Anyway, we'll get back to that in a moment. Looking at the agreement that Tinubu brokered between Fubara and Wike, you will see that the only person that maintained and followed the agreement judiciously is Sim Fubara. That's before he started meddling in the affairs of the House of Assembly. But will you blame him for meddling in the affairs of the state legislature? No. No one will stand by, even Tinubu himself, if the National Assembly threatens to remove him and impeach him. He will do everything. He will use all his powers to stop them. So no one should blame Sim Fubara for the meddling. After all, he was following the whole agreement judiciously, hoping for peace to reign. But these people were bent on threatening a sitting governor, always making unnecessary demands. Imagine saying that he should not touch the local government accounts. Where were these assemblymen when Wike used the same accounts? Not that it is right, but everyone knows that all Nigerian governors maintain joint accounts between the state and the local government areas in their state. So it's not a new thing. Despite not being legal, they still do it. So why should they impose such restriction on Sim Fubara? And their position has pitched the local government chairman in River State against the governor, which has forced the governor to take countermeasures by asking them to submit the list of all salary earners at each local government area so that the state will pay them directly. He wants to starve the local government chairman of funds, because if you want to control and tame a Nigerian politician, just starve him of funds. He will not be able to move. He will not be able to spend his own money to move around and start campaigning against you. All they are doing today is because they still have access to the treasury. Their local government accounts, all the money, they have all the budget, they can spend them anyhow they want, even against the state governor. So if he starves them of funds, they will not be able to campaign hard and go against the governor.
Hey, so you want to know where to invest $1,000 right now? Well, forget about stocks, forget about real.
On the other hand, Fubara wants to be in the good books of the presidency. He doesn't want any maneuver from Abuja that will force the National Assembly to take over the duties of the Rivers State House of Assembly. And knowing that most of the federal representatives from Rivers State are against Fubara, they are in Wike's camp. If ever the National Assembly takes over the duties of the State Assembly, that means they will frustrate him, and all the approvals that is normally supposed to be done by Rivers State House of Assembly will be brought to Abuja. Abuja will sit over it and approve or disapprove. Even budgets, everything. They will keep doing it until the Rivers State House of Assembly political crisis will be resolved. This is why Fubara's political associates pledged their loyalty to Tinubu, telling him that they will work for him in 2027, like Wike did in 2023. They are playing this angle, knowing that maybe Tinubu might be supporting Wike in Rivers State because he knows that he will work for him like he did the other year. So they are practically telling him, hey, forget about Wike. We are here on ground in Rivers State. We will do even more than he did in 2027. Not liking this angle they are pushing, Wike's camp has started fighting back already, starting with the APC chairman in Rivers State. He said that Fubara did not vote for Tinubu during the presidential election in 2023 and that he will not vote again in 2027. So he's just trying to curry favor that he will never work for them. First of all, there's no way the APC chairman in Rivers State could have known who Fubara voted for in the presidential election. And besides, how can anyone be proud of voting Tinubu in 2023, considering how woeful he has been performing, considering the hardship he has brought on Nigerians? How can anybody be proud of contributing to his ascension to power? It's not something to be proud of. It's something to be ashamed of because of the performance he has performed woefully, even below his predecessor. And we are still in the first year. We've not entered the second year, the third, and the fourth. Looking back at how Sim Fubara followed the agreement judiciously, he didn't want to be seen as the person who started immediately fighting his predecessor, someone that made him the governor. But there is something that is called dignity. A king never crowns himself. There are kingmakers who crown the king. It doesn't mean that the kingmakers are more powerful than the king himself. No, the king is more powerful than everyone in his kingdom. So they are thinking that they will become more powerful than the king after making him the king. That was where they went wrong. It's just like people in the north that are regretting voting for Tinubu. They're saying they won't make the same mistake in 2027. They're saying it because they feel they made him the king. They can now control or say whatever they like. After all, they made him, which he's not taking it. That's why he's shouting down on them that they cannot control him. He will do whatever he feels that is good, whatever he wants to do. No one has any right to tell him what he will do. So he's exerting his own power. In reality, he's more powerful than anyone in Nigeria. So that's how it works. Despite people making someone a king, the people can never be more powerful than the king. This is where there is a problem in Rivers State. The people that made Fubara the governor feel they can control him. Imagine Wike not just controlling the affairs of Rivers State, he also wants to control the party structure at the local government level. He wants all his men to be in the list in the party structure. At the state level, every level in Rivers State, he wants to be in charge politically. Why? That will be very dangerous for Fubara because it means he will not even win the party primaries in the next election. There's no state in Nigeria where the governor doesn't control the party structure. So why should that of Fubara be different? Why does Wike, a former governor who is no longer in government, want to control the party structure of a state? This is a coup. And that's why every unbiased person will always be sympathetic to Sim Fubara because they know that he's under immense pressure from Wike and his associates, which might explain the change of tune from Tinubu and co. And if he really means what he said through his spokesperson, that means it might be a way of telling Wike, hey, back off a bit now. We have a lot of problems in Nigeria right now. Don't add to the problems. Trying to tell him that, hey, you are not actually indispensable. Whatever you think you did for me during the election, if I bring Fubara closer, he will do more.
I think that is less the case now when you consider the fact that Nigerians have, borne witness that their spending power has substantially increased over the course of the last 1 month plus, given the reforms that have been put in place by this administration.
I'm sorry, I had to pause it there. Did this fellow just say, wetin be name, Ngilai, right? Ngilai. Did he just say the spending of Nigerians have improved? My God. Hey! With a straight face, see as him dey speak, e dey talk am, the thing dey move, dey roll come out of him mouth. Man, how can these people lie with a straight face like this? Nigerians get politicians, so goddamn.
Even within the Central Bank of Nigeria.
This is the same presidential spokesperson telling a barefaced lie. No, the purchasing power decreased by more than 200%. That's why many companies are leaving Nigeria, because they are not making sales. People think that increase in price, they will cover the cost and losses they make and customs duties and all that. There's a limit to how much you can increase the price of products. When people don't have money, when they become poorer, they can't buy anything. You won't be making sales. You won't be making enough sales when you compare to when the price was cheaper. It's very simple. When people like Dangote are complaining about the Naira devaluation, saying that it is a huge mess they made, what about a poor man that doesn't know where his next meal will come from? So it is a barefaced lie that the purchasing power increased. Rather, all indices, all indexes, all data point to the fact that it decreased by more than 200%. Like the opposition in Nigeria keeps saying, you cannot run a government based on propaganda and lies. You cannot magically wish the Naira to suddenly start exchanging at 500 Naira to $1 and it will happen. No, you have to work towards it. You have to solve the fundamentals that will boost the Naira. You have to go into serious production that will lead to exports and subsequent earning of more dollars in Nigeria. There's no other way to do it. Trying to boost the Naira artificially doesn't work, like Nigerians have seen. The few weeks the central bank sold foreign currency to BDCs, they've seen that it's not sustainable. That's why they stopped. And the BDCs have gone back to sourcing foreign exchange from anywhere they can. And like any other commodity or product, you buy and resell at a profit. You cannot buy and sell below the amount you bought it or at cost. So until we do the right thing, we'll always be turning around in circles. Thanks for watching.
Honestly, these people are jokers. I can't even. I'm very happy though. I'm here for the drag. I so want Fubara to drag Wike from River State through the mud and the rock and the rocks to Kafanchan. Wike needs to suffer. He needs like Bulala. They need to fire him Bulala on his backside. That man is not he's not a human being. Since Fubara came into office, na so Wike hold him neck. Dat man, I don't think that man has even had time to work a day since he's been governor in Rivers State. He's from one fight to another fight, one fight to another fight. What kind of human being? Hey God oh. Nigerian politicians, honestly, devil dey learn for where they dey. Devil dey learn. In fact, dey take notes from them because it's too much. It is way too much. The man is just whining. Totey all the people resign. Now I'm very glad they cannot go back. They cannot go back. Yeah, they can't go back. I'm here for it, man. What kind of human beings are this, for crying out loud? Our politicians, they are something else. They are now, what would I call them now? They've become, what's it called? Deities, demonic deities to the people. Only you want to make him a boy, so anything you say he has to do. You still want to have access to the treasury in Rivers State because you know money is there. What kind of, meanwhile the people in Rivers State are not enjoying anything. Ha! Abeg o, Fubara, abeg no give up o, more strength to you, abeg. Give, drag am like nama meat. Drag am.
The tussle for power has been the major headline in River State politics as camps loyal to former Governor Nyesom Wike have continued to make the tenure of Governor Similaye Fubara ungovernable. The feud deteriorated despite the intervention of President Bola Tinubu, who brokered a peace deal between Wike and Fubara after the seats of Mr. Wike-backed lawmakers were declared vacant following their defection to the APC. Also, the River State High Court in Port Harcourt has granted an interim injunction restraining pro-Wike Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Martin Ameole, and 24 others from parading themselves as legislators. Reacting to the development in the state, spokesman for President Bola Tinubu, Ajuri Ngelale, has said the Nigerian leader will not take sides in the crisis in River State, saying he would not allow any attempt to frustrate the Rivers government. Joining us on the morning show to discuss the situation in River State and the reaction from the presidency, which comes after the now infamous agreement between Wike and Fubara in Aso Rock, is Kunle Adegoke, a senior advocate of Nigeria. Good morning and welcome to the morning show.
Thank you very much. Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here.
Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us. First, let's deal with the legal issues. The governor of River State, Simeon Fubara, has said that the House of Assembly does not exist and that he doesn't recognize the members who defected from the PDP to APC. And spokespersons for his position have said, Section 109 of the 1999 Constitution is self-executory. Whereas there's still a matter at the Court of Appeal that has not yet been determined. Secondly, the governor of River State has taken the step of moving the State House of Assembly to Government House as the new location. And of course, the movement is with regard to his own faction of the Government House. And then, of course, a River State High Court has given a ruling that the 27 members who defected to the PDP are not validly elected, legitimate, constitutionally valid members of the House of Assembly. If you could just help us untangle some of these legal issues at the heart of the crisis in River State.
Thank you very much, Doctor. The crisis in the state of Rivers is one that is becoming quite disturbing to all lovers of democracy. And it is unfortunate that when we felt that probably the gladiators were trying to resolve the issues and shedding their swords, we discovered that it is like what Yoruba call Egbinrin Ote, that is an insurmountable crisis that is always reproducing itself like the proverbial phoenix whenever people feel that it is dying out. The Constitution is very clear on the position. If a member of the House of Reps or House of Assembly, a legislator, simply say that, having defected to another political party different from the one on which he was elected, whether he could still keep the seat on which he was actually elected. The Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court have pronounced on the provisions of the Constitution with relation to Section 109 to the effect that where a member of the Legislative House becomes to another political party, he automatically loses his seat. In this situation, no matter how many they could be, whether they are the complete members of the House or just a few of them, the implication is that they have automatically lost their seats. It's unfortunate that the beneficiary of this bad situation is my own political party. While politically it is a gain to us, legally and constitutionally it is a disservice to democracy and developmental politics in any part of the world for a member of the legislative house in a particular country or state to decamp from the party on which he was elected to another party while still serving in the House of Assembly. Having made this clear by the decisions of the Supreme Court on the impossibility of keeping the seat, the implication is that the 23 members have forfeited their seats. Any other interpretation that goes contrary to the decisions of the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal will be an aberration. We must be loyal only to the Constitution. Yes, while we must maintain loyalty to our political parties and support what will bring progress to our political parties, we must not use the loyalty to our party to defeat the Constitution. Ultimately, if the Constitution is defeated and Nigeria is disintegrated, there is no way we can have a political party that will still be functioning. And I think that is one thing that all the gladiators must realize in this situation. There is no other interpretation we can give to it. However, on the other hand, the decision or step taken by the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Fubara, by taking the House of Assembly, the seat of the House of Assembly to the government house, may be said to be unprecedented because there is a particular structure, there is a place that is built for the House of Assembly to sit. The House of Assembly cannot sit in any other place as decided by the Supreme Court in the case of Kojo and Adeleke, bordering on the removal, the purported removal of Governor Rashidi Ladoja in Oyo State in 2005. To that extent, the implication is that it is not possible for the House to sit in a place otherwise than where the law has built for it. If the members of the House of Assembly that have defected are regarded as having forfeited their seats, there is no way they can continue parading themselves. And that is where I'm going to align myself with the decision of the Rivers State High Court declaring that they could not continue parading themselves as members of the House of Assembly, whereof there is an appeal pending on the issue. The implication is that all parties are supposed to maintain the status quo. The implication is that the members of the House of Assembly who are there right now cannot do anything that would thwart the proceedings going on in the Court of Appeal. The same thing forbids Governor Fubara from doing anything to thwart the proceedings. Rather, it will be better for all parties to work in the interest of the people of Rivers State, in the interest of the Constitution, in the interest of Nigeria, because where a state is in crisis and public order is about breaking down, then the whole of Nigeria will equally be affected. No matter how much we want to pretend that it is in Rivers, it can happen in any other place. So constitutionally, it is not right for those members of the House of Assembly. I was thinking that they probably will go back to PDP, as it was purportedly resolved that they should go back to PDP, where they will be able to effectively occupy the seats as members of the House of Assembly of Rivers State. Probably at the level of PDP, they know that it will be impossible to impeach the governor. And that may probably determine the reason why they have decided to maintain their new found love for APC, that they did not contest on its platform, that they did not campaign on its platform, that they did not buy its nomination form to campaign or contest the election to the House of Assembly. It is rather very, very sad and saddening too, that this development is truncating constitutional democracy in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Adegoke. Okay, let's talk about another development following that ruling. The governor of Rivers State, Simlaye Fubara, has also issued an executive order 012/2023 to relocate temporarily the Rivers House Assembly sitting to the government house. Now, according to, I just want you to clarify something really quickly. According to his Commissioner for Information, he said that the governor has a right to do this, whilst the APC is saying that it is not constitutional. While I understand the developments that have gone on, so far in terms of the ruling of the High Court and the tussle in River State, how do you think this speaks in terms of how constitutional, let me put it that way, is this move by the governor? Because this is, of course, making headlines. We're talking about this morning. I'd like to get your thoughts on this one this morning.
The move by the governor is one that I would say is simply political, but completely unconstitutional. Assuming we have not had the benefit of a judicial pronouncement on a similar issue or on a similar situation, we might be bantering or exchanging pleasantries on whether it is constitutional or otherwise. But we have had the benefit of a decision of the Supreme Court, where the apex court, the highest court of the land, that is the only court from which there is no further appeal, has pronounced in the case of Kojo and Adeleke to the effect that it is not constitutional for the House of Assembly to sit in a place other than the building where the law has prescribed that it to be sitting. The House of Assembly is an institution. The building in which it is supposed to be sitting or in which it is sitting is an institution on its own too. To that extent, we cannot divorce the House of Assembly from where the law has built that it should be sitting. We cannot take away the mace and say the House of Assembly is still operating as a constitutional and legitimate institution. To that extent, the governor will be erring egregiously by taking the seat of the House of Assembly to the government house. What exactly does he want to achieve by this? To make sure that the three members loyal to him will be able to sit in a place that he has provided for them, because it might be impossible for them to continue sitting in the place designated for the House of Assembly as the house where it's supposed to be transacting the legislative business. In that regard, we have found ourselves in a situation where one illegality is begetting another illegality. And that is why it is completely unsavory for any member of the House of Assembly or any member of the executive, whether the highest occupier of the occupier of the highest office in the state or even in the federation, to allow illegality to rear its ugly head. The implication will be that what will follow thereafter will be another unconstitutional move, will be another illegality. And to that extent, it will be wrong for the governor to take such a step. Having, I don't know whether he supported or he took the step by which the judiciary, the River State judiciary, declared the seats of the 27 members as having been vacant and restraining them from conducting any legislative business or parading themselves as members of the House of Assembly until the determination of the suit. If he was party to it, then it means that he has secured a temporary victory. And the implication is that insofar as they have been restrained by the court has the judicial say in any issue, in any matter submitted to it. Okay. The matter having been submitted to the court having issued a restraining order, nobody, no matter how high, not even the president, has the audacity, the temerity, the effrontery to flout the decision of the court. It is a decision of the court by virtue of the Constitution, and everybody, every institution has the obligation to obey that order. Okay. I will not support any institution, anybody, to flout a court order. Okay. If the order is found to be bad, then the party affected should go back to the same court to vacate the order, or that there should be an immediate appeal against it. I am sure that there will be a motion on notice to determine whether those members have the right to continue parading themselves or otherwise. That can be fast-tracked as to determine that issue. And if the court refuses the application for motion on notice, then the members can go back and be performing their duties. That is the position.
Thank you so much, Senior Advocate. But what's your reaction to a country where the president starts the illegality in a deal he made between the parties by saying that illegality of House of Assembly members that defected should keep their seats? I mean, what would you say about the president of a country starting the chain of illegality?
Right. The road to hell, they say, is paved with good intentions. No matter how good the intention of Mr. President may be, I believe that it is a political wrong. It's a constitutional error for the president to have decreed that the members that have vacated their seats should continue occupying the seats. Why I'm saying this is on the authority of the decisions of the Supreme Court that have held that when members defected from the House, in the House, from the political platform on which they were elected to another political party on which platform they did not contest the election, they have automatically forfeited their seats. However, the president, as somebody that quote and unquote I would say is the father of the nation, ought to take a step towards resolving the crisis. There are two ways the president can do this. One is friendly, the other one is unfriendly. Let me put it in that term. The one that is friendly is for him to seek to resolve the crisis as between the two parties, where the resolution will enable the members that have defected, where the resolution, the political resolution, let me be clear about that, where the political resolution as proposed by the president, as purportedly accepted by the two gladiators, who amount to flouting the position of the law, who amount to treating the Constitution with disrespect, insofar as the Constitution has been interpreted by the highest court of the land, then it will be an error for the president to say members who have defected to APC should go back and continue occupying their seats. If they are going to go back to continue occupying their seats, they have to renounce the campaign that they have done, the cross-carpeting that they have done. They have to drop that particular step that they have taken, because that step is said to be unconstitutional. They can only be said to be entitled to continue occupying their seats if they resume their membership of PDP on which platform they were elected, on which platform they contested the election. They cannot ride on the back of a donkey and now kill the donkey in order to make a sacrifice to a horse, in order to make a sacrifice to have a horse. Okay. It is not possible. That is the wisdom that informed the drafters of the Constitution when they said you cannot defect from a political party and still keep your seat.
But the presidency is now saying,
yes, sir,
after setting the path of, total disrespect for constitutional provisions, the president is now saying, I will not meddle into the matter after they had scattered the matter in the first place. What do you say to that?
Well, I may not be able to actually agree that he scattered the situation. The situation was already scattered before it was taken to the president in the first place. The two gladiators fighting are people who have occupied the highest seat in Rivers State at one time or the other. And to that extent, there is a limit of sovereignty. There is a measure of sovereignty enjoyed by each unit, each federating unit in Nigeria. Rivers State is not less, the government of Rivers State is not a junior, is not a younger brother to the presidency occupied by President Ahmed Bola Tinubu or any other person at any point in time. It is a federating unit without which there will be no Nigeria. There will be no Nigeria for President Bola Tinubu to preside over if a state is taken out today, because the Constitution says we have 36 federating states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. To that extent, the intervention made by the president, and that's initially, and that is why I said that the road to hell is said to be paved with good intentions. Even if the president had a good intention, the outcome of it at the end of the day almost burnt the fingers of the president, because we discovered a situation where people who were not agreeable to the agreement drafted at the presidency and the two parties were said to have signed were condemning the president for his mode of intervention. And to that extent, the elders of Rivers felt that if not for the president, His Excellency Siminalayi Fubara wouldn't have agreed to that kind of agreement. And if that should be the case, the president must be careful. He must be very careful if there is any constitutional crisis in Rivers State or in any other state of the federation. The limit of his intervention must be within the ambit of the Constitution. He cannot make one party to submit to the other in a manner that would defeat the essence of the Constitution. His Excellency Nyesom Wike is no longer the governor of Rivers State. Rivers must be allowed to run its affairs. And that is one piece of advice that I have for my learned colleague, His Excellency Wike, that in this instance, it would be better to allow Rivers to run its business. However, what the president is saying right now is for the presidency not to commit another error. And to that extent, things must be allowed to play out in Rivers State. Although, if it gets to a point where public order, where public security and public safety will completely break down under Section 305, we almost realize that the president has the power to declare a state of emergency.
If I may come in here, what the presidency said initially was that they adopted a political solution. And we condemned it at the time, that the president of Nigeria cannot act as a headmaster over the federating units. This time around, we have been told by the presidency that the presidency will not take sides. I agree with you. It's good to allow the people of Rivers State to sink or swim with their own issues. If they want to disrupt the national order, then of course, the country will know what to do. The National Assembly will know how to step in. However, I take your point about the location of the State House of Assembly, that the State House of Assembly has a place of work. It cannot be sitting all over the place. Tomorrow they will say they are sitting in a market. Next tomorrow they are in legislative quarters. Next tomorrow they are in government house. That point is very valid. But I ask you a question, whether it's self-executory, that if you move from one political party to the other, then you have lost your position. Consistently in your submission, you seem to hold that it's automatic. But I refer you to Federal Abegunde versus Ondo State House of Assembly, where their lordships,
Ondo State House of Assembly,
yes, at the Supreme Court decided the ratio in that matter was Section 109(1)(g) of the Constitution, where they said division is not as you pronounce it. Then it must be of a nature that there is a problem within a party and that party can no longer function. Okay? So the question then was, Abegunde, the appellant at the Supreme Court level, lost the case. Is it the same situation in Rivers State? Is there any decision that we have at hand, apart from the Rivers State High Court decision that you say you have you support? Is there a decision at a higher level? Because the same matter is at the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal has not yet pronounced on the Rivers State case. Are the facts of the case in Abegunde case the same as in Rivers? And then the elders, you also mentioned them, who took the matter to the Court of Appeal. Do they have a locus in this matter? Because I asked Chief Sarab Anasibe when he came on this program, that shouldn't it be the governor going to court? The governor is not going to court. He's taking his own decisions. Do the elders of Rivers State, do they have a locus? Would their matter at the Court of Appeal stand? These are some of the legal issues involved.
Thank you, Doctor. I appreciate the angle from which you have come in. And in actual fact, when referring to the decision of the Supreme Court, it was specific reference to Abegunde and the Ondo State House of Assembly. In Abegunde, you will recall that the Supreme Court was quite emphatic as regards a situation that will enable a member of the Legislative House to decamp from one political party on which he was elected to another and still keep his seat. That is where there is a division at the level, at the national level of the party, that the party has become so fragmented that it cannot continue functioning as a political party, strictly so called by the Constitution, under Section 222 of the Constitution. However, in Abegunde, which is quite, the facts of which are quite on all fours with the present situation, we are not aware of a division in the People's Democratic Party at the national level where the party is no longer able to function. We are not aware of maybe a contender to the national seat, to the national chairmanship seat of PDP, where the party has become so divided that it cannot be regarded as a single institution anymore. And that was the situation in Abegunde, where he decamped from his political party to another. And now that we have a precedent, all lawyers know that where there is a precedent, the essence of precedent is to guide similar situations as may occur in future. Every case that comes before the court has a predecessor in precedent. Every case has a father decided that has paved the way on how it is going to be decided. Where there is no precedent, in which case the court may have to look at the provision of the law or look at the facts and now make an interpretation and make a decision. Such a situation is going to be a locus classicus on its own. However, we have the benefit of Abegunde and those state house of assembly. There is another matter at the level of maybe I think in Imo or Anambra state, in which the Court of Appeal equally any member of the House that defects to another political party has lost a seat. If we have this precedent already pronounced by the higher courts of the land and the highest court of the land, then there is no need to be looking for another interpretation when a similar situation has presented itself. Every gladiator in a political disagreement will want to say that that decision will not bind me. We will be looking for something to distinguish it. Yes, it is necessary that parties must submit their disputes at the level of the Court of Appeal, as it is right now, is good for the parties. That is what I said earlier, that it will be good for the parties to share their thoughts and allow the Court of Appeal to make a pronouncement on this issue. And where a party is not satisfied, the Court of Appeal is not the highest court on this matter. The party that is disagreeable to the decision can as well go to the Supreme Court. However, when you look at the present situation, and I've not been able to make any distinction that we seek to make, any difference with distinction we try to make will be without a difference. In this situation, the situation in Rivers is not too far away from the case of Abegunde and those state house of assembly, and that is why that case to govern the present situation. The elders of Rivers who have taken it upon themselves to challenge the constitutionality or otherwise of the issue. Yes, we have raised whether they have locus to do so. Yes, locus, according to law, is the standing to sue, the ability to be able to make a case before a court and have the legitimate right to.
All right. Mr. Adegoke?
Then the court has no jurisdiction in the first place.
All right.
And when you look at the parties that are involved, the court, no, they are not the House of Assembly members. The House of Assembly members, either as a whole or as a part, or even an individual, will have locus to approach the court. The governor will have locus to approach the court. But elders of River State, whatever name they call themselves, even if they say they are suing for and on behalf of generations yet unborn in Rivers, that will not confer locus on them to be able to approach. The matter, whether they have locus or insofar as the Court of Appeal has not pronounced on it, the matter is still live. The issue is still live before the Court of Appeal.
All right.
The parties should allow the Court of Appeal to. Who can tell? Because the law is very dynamic. We may at the end of the day discover that they even have locus. Discover that they have locus. We are only using the present interpretation of what we are familiar with to determine a case that is yet to be pronounced by the court. And if the parties know that they have no locus, they wouldn't have approached. If they agree that they have no locus, they wouldn't. Their lawyers wouldn't have approached the Court of Appeal. So it's on this basis that I would say that the best in the situation.
Except that
to
many
reign.
lawyers
We have been
leave the
accused in
law
this
and they
part.
focus on their pay. I mean, we've seen
Yes,
many lawyers
exactly.
taking frivolous cases
Lawyers,
before the court.
Well, Mr. Adegoke, we're so grateful for your time with us this morning. I think it's been quite insightful. Your take on the
that could be by a lawyer. A judge is mandated under the law to listen to him because he is being paid to listen to himself. On that basis, there are many.
All right, Mr. Adegoke, can you hear us?
And until.
All right, okay. I think we lost signal there, but I believe that his point has been well established this morning.
Hi. Those people that cross-carpeted, they don't hear them. I'm very happy to hear that. But you know what? I don't know. You know, this country, Nigeria, get us sick. I just hope they don't find their way in through the back door again. And Kenya, I saw your comment. You were like, he has a deputy and all of that. When there's so much pressure, do you understand? Even it can demoralize. I don't know how to explain it. It will demoralize them in the sense that, okay, imagine now all the people that this guy has been working with in the State House of Assembly, whatever they call it in Rivers State, all of them all supporting Wike. It's madness. How do you work under a situation like that when everybody's against you? What makes you think that he hasn't even tried working, but those people stand in the way of it? What makes you think that? I don't know. This country, this Nigerian politics, eh? Hey, anyway, me, I'm happy. Let him receive courage and boldness and strength to be able to deal with Wike. I'm here for it. I want to see Wike dealt with. I want to see him brought to his knees. Honestly, make we laugh. He needs to experience what it feels like. I'm telling you, he has become so arrogant. He feels like he's infallible, like a god. He's placed himself in a position where he feels nobody can touch him. No, make hand touch me. I want to see the downfall of Wike. That guy he's not a normal human being. I'm sorry. What kind of dirty politics is this? Eh? You were the one that brought him in. This is why you don't you allow, if he had allowed the election go the way it's supposed to go for Rivers State, somebody else would have taken it that would have done work. No, but you want to impose your own person. You don't know say the person when you impose, you won't come turn am to a house boy, do this like Ododo and what's his name, Yaya Bello. That one just kukuma built house inside the state house for his former god. Hey God, only in Nigeria. Until today, they are still looking for Yaya Bello. The man is in Nigeria. Oh. He hasn't left the country. Oh. He is within the country, and they still have not. The EFCC have not been able to apprehend the man. Nigeria is a joke. I'm sorry to say. Mm. Hey, my people, make I tell now wetin dey shake people today for social media. Woo! Oh my God, where I sef make I see. My president, the one and only, the one and the only. Make I show am. I had it pulled up just now. I don't know what happened. I was looking for something else and I completely forgot. I went past it. Hmm. Hey, everywhere has been shaking, shakometer. Everywhere they make abido shaker. Hey, hey. Come and see na make I bring am come here. Everybody dey shake gidigidigidi gidigidigidi. Atiku say it was an honor to host my brother. No be so e talk. Make I see wetin e talk, wetin Atiku talk. Ma read am for now. Everywhere has been doing gidigidigidi. I say what is going on? Abi something has happened. Everybody just dey shake up and down like shaky leaf. It was an honor. It was my honor and privilege to host Peter Obi today. Everywhere start to dey shake. Everywhere start to dey shake. Gidigidigidi. Everywhere they shake, gudu, 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 gudu. Everywhere they shake up and down. I said, what is going on? What's wrong with you people? Eh? I say, let me tell you, and I'm putting it out here officially. Anything that will unseat the monsters we have, the APC, Omo, I'm all in. As far as say Peter Obi na him be the president, he cannot be VP. Láyé, we will refuse, we reject anything that sounds like VP, we throw inside dustbin. If not be Peter Obi be president, I'm even what's it called, I'm even flexible to allow whoever the vice president will be, even though na that me I still want is unchangeable. But given the Nigerian landscape and how very tricky and very dogmatic it is, okay, I'm all right. Peter Obi has already made himself, he's a brand to be reckoned with. So that one, president or not sent, anybody wey wan come be VP afterwards, no problem, you fit be VP as long as you're a strong VP that will be able to secure the note. That's all I give a damn about. Because you see, this Tinubu, he must go. He has to go. So we need powerhouses that can come together and pull down this sham that Nigeria has put themselves in. For me, I didn't vote for Tinubu, I didn't support him, I no send the papa and the followers. But you see this yamayama wey dey go on for Nigeria, it has to come to an end. Now, Efrata, welcome. Now, you say Betty be the get exactly. Now, they carry shoulder up before now. You know as they do, they carry shoulder up like say na only they are king makers. Not them. If not be them, not see as they smile. If you see the engagement he got, only for this picture, we never know wetin they talk. Oh, if you see the engagement, forget Peter Obi na brand, fashion. Anything once you mention Peter Obi, na so you go just dey go up, dey go up. That's the kind of power this man wield. Anything other than president, make dem gbagbe, make dem forget. Make everybody dey roll in the mud, dey go. So I say welcome development. I mean, I'm not a beef. I have come to understand that Nigeria is a very unusual place. You have to make alliances, right? Somebody could be your enemy today, but you can be aligning with the person tomorrow. That's one thing I've even generally politics all over the world. But you see this Nigeria own, in order for people to unseat Agbado, you need heavy hitters. People that will shake him in the socks. That's what we need. Because what's going on in Nigeria right now is unheard of. So, whatever the case may be, some people are saying no, they don't. For me, abeg, I'm open. No, I'm open-minded. Let the country be safe. I don't want the country to turn into a country where foreigners are pouring in and taking advantage and stealing the resources for free. No. So abeg, let's align. Let him align. Man, I cut cap for Peter Obi. Abeg, this man, I should say they play chess. Although I don't know how to play chess, so. But the guy, the way they move, my God, quiet revolution without the word revolution. The man just dey make him move, dey go. They make the necessary, they meet the necessary people. They, hey God. I mean, I don't know. I respect him for what he's doing. And you know what I really appreciate about Peter Obi? He puts the interests of the people ahead of himself. He's more interested in the welfare of the people and the nation. That is his focus. So whatever is going to take him to align to make sure that he gets the, because remember he keeps saying, I am not desperate to the president, I want the country to work. Anything that will make the country work, that's what this man is about. If you like hate him from now to tomorrow, it's not going to change it. If you like love him, it's not. The man is just moving. He's doing what he's supposed to. Since that election, this man never rests. He never rests. Now so they go like a restless person. Like, I have to do this, I have to do it. Like a sense of urgency with him. That's why he's not giving up, and I appreciate him. A leader that does not give up. This is what we need in Africa, in Nigeria. A leader that will not give up on his people to ensure that he gets his people back and sets it in the right trajectory. This is what Peter Obi is doing. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it too. I am here for it. The man has everything that it takes to be a leader and more. Not only does he know how to serve, he knows how to be a leader. What more do we want? Nigeria has been blessed. By the way, when I hear say Dr. Arikana go Mali, no, Burkina Faso, with some African Americans, say make Burkina Faso, they go visit. They encourage me they come get land for them and stuff like that. I hear it was a good meeting. I haven't seen the video. I was actually trying to see if I could pull up the video and bring it here, but I haven't seen it. Me, I love Dr. Arikana. She's one person I respect. I love her fight for Africa as a whole. So really, I know that whatever she went to do there probably was for a good cause. So I don't trust any politician from the north. Well, my brother, as it is, the alignment has to align. Sorry, only the south cannot win election. I mean, only the south. They will not. Only the south is not enough to carry my president to Aso Rock. So we need the north as it stands with the way Nigeria is now currently structured. We need the north, we need the south, right? So whether we like them or not, we no trust them or not, well, you need to sometimes dine with your enemy to get where you need to go, right? You dine with a long spoon with the enemy to get where you need to go. That's just the truth. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm too. There's no. I don't see any other way. Now, I was insistent upon what's his name, Ahmed Dati, but I don't know if Dati can pull it. But you know, things can change anyway. So she was wearing all red. Yeah, she was dressed. She even wear the cap of the man. Let me see if I can find that video because I really want to watch it. So everybody everywhere for social media they shake. Oh, they say, "Ha, Peter, hey, what's going on?" Oh, APC people they come quiet one kind, come quiet. I say, hey, this is what is good for you people. Hey, we will never see anything. Tí rí kankan. Shebi una say now. Let me see. Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso. It was 9 days ago. Okay. Let me see. Oh, abeg o. Make I bring am come here. This is cool. I don see one video like that. Make we watch am together. I really I appreciate that woman, man. I really like the work she's doing. Very tough woman, very strong, unyielding, focused.
If you're a business owner,
Africa or nothing. I appreciate her, man. I love her spirit.
We are here to join you in your struggle. You sommes pour vous joindre à votre combat. No more shall you want you go without food.
Oh no, this is not the video. I've seen the one I wanted to see.
Being here in the country of the upright man is a dream come true. To President Traore, the reincarnation of Thomas Sankara President Traore, who has led the struggle to complete the unfinished business that was started by our ancestors and our Pan-African leaders in 1963 when they created the Organization of African Unity. During that meeting, they demanded the creation of an Africa that spoke with one voice, an Africa that was united, That journey is yet to be finished. What is happening in Burkina Faso, in Mali, in Niger, is just the beginning of a revolution that is way past due for Africa. Africa must unite, and Burkina Faso has shown us the way. They have opened the doors. They have shown us that the bully can be defeated. That no more shall we continue to give up our lunch. That we too need to eat. And therefore, there is no negotiating with the bully. The bully had to go, and Burkina Faso showed us how to do it. So, Mr. President, I bring you your children, descendants of the formerly enslaved. They have waited over 400 years to return the spirits of their ancestors back home to Africa. When the children of Africa were taken out of Africa as slaves, all they ever wanted to do was to come back home to Africa. Each and every one of them that you see, many of them are coming to Africa for the first time. They're bringing with them the spirits of their ancestors to put them to rest here in Burkina Faso. And that's mission number one. Mission number two, we have watched you, Mr. President. You stand for everything that we have hoped for in an African man. Courageous, fearless, and in their faces. France, unapologetically, you told France, pack your bags and go home. You, Mr. President, and the people of Burkina Faso have done it, and we have a responsibility to support you. You have over 300 million African diaspora who are looking up to you. We are here to show you that we are with you. We support you. We are behind you, and we will not let you down. Many of us were told, don't go to Burkina Faso. It's a war-torn country. Guns all over the streets. Mr. President, we want you to know that the more they told us not to go to Burkina Faso, the more we ran to Burkina Faso. No one tells them not to go to Europe, to their countries of origin. Therefore, no one will tell us not to come home to Burkina Faso. So mission number two is to let you, Mr. President, know that you and the citizens of Burkina Faso have done all the heavy lifting. The least we can do is to support you. So we are here. Our third mission is to see what can we do, Mr. President, to play our part in building the Burkina Faso we want.
And also, this is the remarks of President Captain Ibrahim Traore addressing the African diaspora.
I am moved and very happy to see you here in Burkina Faso since the events of the SNC. It is more than a pleasure that you have chosen to come here to Burkina. You have surely been told that it is a country frequentable. We told you that it's death here, it's war.
For people who want to increase their chances of hitting the Powerball, try using this lottery-defeated system before choosing.
There is only negative. We painted Burkina black here, only blood flows, weapons. This is what is said elsewhere. Thank God you arrived safely. You were able to be about the lasso, live with us, our culture, what binds us Africans. You were able to communicate.
Vivre avec nous, notre culture, ce qui nous lie, nous Africains.
With many other nationalities who came to celebrate with us, everything went very well. You are of our standing, and I hope that you are very well received, very well lodged, and that you managed to communicate with your brothers here. It is one important message that you send to.
C'est un message important que vous envoyez à tout le monde.
Everyone, and nay, you will be the ambassadors of this message when you return home, that Burkina is very frequentable. We live in Burkina Faso. What they want to make you believe that is not the Burkina is what he draws to get people to flee Burkina, and they depict all of.
C'est ce qu'il dessine pour amener les gens à fuir le Burkina. Et c'est toute l'Afrique qu'il dépeint comme ça.
Africa like that for them. Africa is misery, Africa is famine, Africa is war, which is responsible for these wars. We need to unite. But they have always been there to divide us, to be able to reign better. Slavery our ancestors experienced. Until today we are fed up in our.
Mais ils ont toujours été là pour nous diviser, pour pouvoir mieux régner. L'esclavage.
Flesh, but it continues. The grandfather was deported, torture, and still, when they had their war we supported him. They paid us in monkey money. Others were killed when they tried to claim. Several of them died in their village. With the after effects of the war, never recognized the work of the African, our mission. It is first of all to awaken Africa, and who better than you from the diaspora, to make people understand what Africa is. When I see you united in this association, I feel even more proud, because it is all we ask for. Today our fight is to be able to unite, because united we are strong. To divide we are weak. They have always worked to divide us. I urge you to spread the message so that Africa can unite. We have been lucky or unlucky enough to live through war for several years, and at one point we had to say enough is enough. We are fed up.
Ils ont toujours travaillé à nous diviser. Je vous exhorte à passer le message pour que l'Afrique puisse s'unir.
We have taken our responsibilities, and we let us realize today more than ever that we were right to take our responsibilities. Because these armies were installed here, were never able at any time to monitor our territory, to see the terrorists who came to kill us, and
nous nous rendons compte aujourd'hui plus que jamais que nous avons eu raison de prendre nos responsabilités. Parce que ces armées étaient installées ici.
Leave with all the means they had. When we asked to leave today, we were able to acquire a good number of means which allows us to wage our war, and to ward off the threat, and to indicate, I would say, we were able to equip our forces and reconstitute our armies. They don't like that. Obviously, they will create other plans, but we are here and we will hold on thanks to you, who are far from them who support us.
Mais nous sommes là et nous tiendrons grâce à vous qui êtes loin et qui nous soutenez.
We will always stand because the African is resilience. We have suffered enough. The first thing you could do for Africa is to send the positive message. Enough looting, enough death. It is time that we unite and work. We only ask to live with dignity, to live. Free, pass the message to awaken consciences. Some leaders always try to put their people to sleep and continue to pierce their people for the benefit of the West. This must stop. Who better than you to convey this message to the different people? Africa must wake up.
Qui mieux que vous pour passer ce message aux différents peuples?
Young people must wake up and no longer allow the same policy continue. It is not possible. Africa is still virgin. Everything is business in Africa. Look at how our cities are. We can also develop our health and education systems. We can develop everything. So in this rich
Nous pouvons aussi développer nos systèmes de santé,
diaspora, we have all the specialties. Today in Burkina, we are thinking about set up one university polytechnic just to train scientific engineers, and I think you will be welcome to learn the second time, because as long as we do not
et je pense que vous serez les bienvenus pour
train the youth so that we ourselves can produce and transform here, on site we will always remain slaves. Sovereignty is all together. We are fighting for food self-sufficiency. Those who can invest in the agri-food industry to transform our products here, you are
c'est tout un ensemble. Nous sommes en train
welcome, producing us everything here. Everything grows on our soils. We have experienced everything. After a year or so, everything grows in Burkina. Those who want to invest in agriculture are welcome. Those who want to invest in processing are welcome. Education, we want to transform the school, because the formatting that we are currently experiencing, it is from the school. They have channeled us so that the intellectuals for the most part cannot think, get out of the furrows that they have a trace. Thank God the conscious ones are waking.
De sorte que les intellectuels pour la plupart ne peuvent pas réfléchir, sortir des
Up.
sillons qu'ils
We
ont
need
tracés.
more. We need to change the educational system. You are welcome. And there are many other paths. They were in plundering our wealth. Today we are regaining control. And we are never going to leave our wealth behind, because we want to live, we want to see our
Aujourd'hui, nous sommes en train de reprendre le contrôle.
children cared for, educated, grow up in peace and live in a healthy environment. So we are open, and you will be welcome in Africa to develop.
Et vivre dans un environnement sain. Donc, nous sommes ouverts et vous serez les bienvenus en Afrique pour développer votre continent.
Your continent, to unite your continent, and to pass on the message of this unity. It is very important. Continue to pass on the message, so that the young people wake up, who no longer leaves us leaders, to make slaves for others. This should not be allowed. There are
Les esclaves pour les autres. Ça ne doit pas être permis. Il y a certains pays aujourd'hui où nous avons envie de passer des
certain
messages.
countries today where we want to send messages, but I think that your voices carry even more because you are ambassadors. Wherever you are, whether in America, in Europe, your Caribbean, you are ambassadors. And when you speak, it can wake you up, and I urge you
Je vous exhorte à parler. C'est la mission que je vous confie pour réveiller le continent. Bon séjour à
to
vous.
speak. This is the mission that I entrust to you, to wake up the continent. Have a good stay. May God await you, Paul. Thanks a lot.
Our young leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, you make African great. Yes, yes, kings and queens. Our young leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore, making Africa great. That's why you see Dr. Kana Chombori Kwao and the delegation from the African Diaspora Development Institute visited him in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. So, kings and queens, this is a time for Africa to write our own history, the history that will be not written in Brussels, in Paris, in Washington, or London. The history that will be written here in the continent of Africa. This is a time for we, the people of Africa, to come together to share what we have with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora on how we can build our new Africa. So those who think that Africa, we can't build the better future for our continent, for our generation to come, they must be shocked by this news, wonderful news from Burkina Faso. Time has come to write our own stories. The time has come to write our own curriculums to our children, to tell them that we have strategic minerals that will help us to develop drones, to develop satellites, to develop rockets, to develop electronic devices. Just imagine the countries that don't have these strategic minerals, they are teaching their children on how they can use our minerals. We, the people of Africa, we are not teaching our children on how we can add value to our minerals. So we must change. We must tell our stories. We must teach our children where these minerals are found. I know we have many African students, African graduates who don't know what is going on in Democratic Republic of Congo, who don't know what minerals are found in Democratic Republic of Congo, who don't know about Niger, that Niger has uranium. We have many students, African people, who don't know that in Namibia there's oil, there's hydrogen. We have many people who don't know that Mozambique has gas, natural gas, has oil. We have many people who don't know that in Tanzania there is natural gas, there is gold, there is tanzanite. That is only found in Tanzania. In this world, only tanzanites are found in one country, Tanzania, and yet we are still poor. Let us tell our children, let us tell our students that we have minerals, strategic minerals in DRC. We have minerals in Mali. We have minerals in Burkina Faso. We have oil in Nigeria. And yet we are still importing oil from Arab countries. So, kings and queens, the time has come. We want to see Nigeria supplying oil to all African countries. We want to see the oil in Angola being used for African cars. We don't have industry to manufacture cars, but we have all essential minerals to manufacture cars. We have iron ore, we have tin, we have aluminium, we have all minerals. So, kings and queens, I think the time has come for we, the people of Africa, to teach our children the truth about Africa. Kings and queens, tell our children, our students, our African people, our diaspora, that we have Inga Dam that can produce enough electricity to power the entire continent of Africa. Tell our children, our people, our diaspora, that Africa has enough coal to power the entire continent. Tell our people in the diaspora, our people in the continent, our students, that we have uranium in Niger, we have uranium in Namibia, that can help us to produce electricity through nuclear power plants. So we have rivers that can support irrigation. We have River Nile, we have River Orange, we have River Congo. All those rivers can help us to support irrigation system to produce enough food. Tell our people that in the continent of Africa, we have horrible land that can produce.
I think that's it. We should have ended it earlier, actually, when it was. I thought that there was another thing coming on after. But man, this is amazing, you know. So the country obviously gonna need help, expertise wise. I'm interested in farmland, though. I beg, who get connection for Burkina Faso? Abeg, una hear am o, e talk say farmland this, and you know, I'm interested in farmland o, because I fit teach dem one or two things about farming. Dat much I know. So abeg, make we gather buy farmland for Burkina Faso. I'm very proud of uh, Traore. The man is really making us proud as an African, you know. So I'm very happy for them. Eh? This one we get for Nigeria, na how we wan take change am. Na be the problem. E don turn to problem for our neck. Forcing way in, you no know wetin to do. Clueless from top to bottom. Carry all the thieves, ancient thieves, the ones wey dem don steal over 20 years, e carry dem enter, make dem come steal more. God. Yeah. Anyway, back to at the Atiku handshake with Peter Obi. Omo, some people were not liking it. They were upset. They were like, that see, they were not trying to turn it around, right? Some people were saying that yes, that see, Peter Obi has seen that he was wrong for him to have left PDP. Look at him now; he's trying to come back and warm himself his way back in, so that maybe to have a conversation with Atiku and all of that. I'm like, what are you people talking about? Did you people read Atiku's tweet? The man say it was an honor and privilege. When was the last time that man used those two words in a sentence? I beg, point me to it. They know Peter Obi is the price. Are you kidding me? He's a brand. You don't need to do anything. You see they smile. When was the last time your Atiku smiled like that? When was the last time he smiled like that? When all the people when he draw near body, all of them betray and run. See Reno mockery. Two sides of the mouth. Go talk left today, tomorrow go talk right. See wetin dem dey call am Boala. Buhala when e talk say even if agbado dey there 100 years, e no go fit do anything. See am now, Buhala is running mouth for the agbado. See Wike was the first shocker. That one dealt with him, showed him pepper. When was the last time that man smile? Look at Dino behaving like a kid in a candy store. The man wear wristwatch dey show am off for inside. God, that video was cringy worthy. Cringy. I'm like, what is wrong with this grown-ass man? You never see wristwatch before, but you never wear wristwatch before. I don't understand. The guy was shining his teeth, showing off what he's wearing. Like, dude, grow up. Very childish human being. I don't think that man, I'm not sure say he's altogether there. Forgive me. I don't think so. Showing off his cars, showing off, my goodness. Make I bring am come here. Nobody me go see am. Dino Melaye is a baby, is a child in a man's body. Telling you. Look at it. Only one man. No good road. See am. Only him. More na dey count o. Una see am. He is such a child. Look at him. I counted 10 cars. I don't know how many you guys counted. I counted 10 cars. What's the other video? There's another video I wanted to show you guys where this guy was showing off his wristwatch, showing off his. I'm like, what the heck is he doing? What is this? Look at him. He acquires a new Tesla. Please, is there electricity in Nigeria? Is there electricity in Nigeria? I'm trying to look for that video where he was showing off his wristwatch. I don't think I can find it here. It doesn't even matter. It's irrelevant. The guy is a baby. I've never seen a human being like that in my life. So for me, is how what can be done to uproot the people that are currently occupying Aso Rock illegally. How we're going to uproot them, that one ain't concern me. So if Peter Obi, whatever Peter Obi does, whoever he decides to run with, I'm in support of him. As far as saying I be president, I'm in support. Because he's the brand, he is the visionary, he has the vision, he has the transformation vision, so na him will go follow. For me, if by mistake dem come talk say dem wan give am VP, and I know say my president no go accept that one. Me I know standard, because vice president no get power. If that happens, I will wash my hands off. Peter Obi has to be president or nothing. Simple and short. Anyway, that's all I came here to bring to you guys to talk about. I'm going to leave it here for now. I don't try. I beg. I no plan to do Monday morning. What's it called? Come here this this today being Monday, but I had to because of the whole shaky that was going on social media, because Peter Obi went to visit Atiku. I don't know why people are shaking. It's necessary. They say there are no permanent enemies. So whoever he knows is going to help him win the election, whatever it is that they are planning behind, I'm here for it. As long as my president is involved, I'm here for it. So guys, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Neka, for the super chat. Dr. Chike, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.